This is video number 2. In this video we're going to show how we actually assemble the 5820 frame. We first started the sill. If you notice on this situation here, this is an XXO door. We have the 2-track closed sill and the 1-track sill extension. Before we combine the two units together, we take the 1-track sill extension, and there's a groove in here along the entire inner portion where it hooks into the 2-track one. We're going to apply a bead of cork right here at this groove as such. Okay, and so it goes right here all the way through, okay? Now once the cork is on this single sill extension, we're going to now attach it to the 2-track sill as such. It goes in the groove there, it goes in a little hook, sets down, and all the cork will engage and form a seal between the 2-track head, between the 2-track sill and the 1-track sill, and any excess cork you're going to simply wipe away so it's clean, okay? You don't want any cork residue occurring here. Now we're going to take this sill and we're going to bring it to a horse where all the components of the frame are staged, ready to be assembled. In a typical frame, you have the sill member, which is at the bottom. You have the vertical jamb, which is a 2-track jamb with a 3rd jamb extension here on the left and on the right. And on the top, you have a horizontal member with a 3-track head. That's a 1-unit head. So the 4 components make up the frame. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the sill extension, the jamb extension to the jamb. So what we first do, we go to the jamb, and you'll notice that there's a groove here. You'll notice that there's a groove here on the jamb, on the outer surface where the jamb extension goes into. In that groove, we're going to apply a bead of silicone as such. Once the silicone is in that groove, we're going to take the jamb extension and we're going to engage it into the jamb as such. As you can see, there's a hook here on the jamb extension and simply engages and stays in place here. And now it's going to be silicone sealed. We're going to do that to the other jamb as well. We're not going to show the detail of the video of the caulking, but you get the same idea. We're just going to stage that for assembly by flipping it over. No, we're not going to show this detail, just put it together. Now you'll notice that on both jambs we have a piece of fixed jamb stop at the very top of the jamb where the header is. This piece is cut in the factory. It's snapped into place and it's caulked into place. And there's a reason for that. When the frame is assembled and the panels are loaded, you wouldn't be able to cover that gap, so we do it ahead of time. So this is already pre-mounted on the jamb in the factory. It's on both jambs. It's only on the top. It's not on the bottom. As you can see, it's only on the top. Now we have the left jamb, the head, the right jamb, and the sill. So the first thing to do, we're going to attach the jambs to the head. Before we do anything like that, we look at the contour of the assembled jamb assembly, and we're going to apply a bead of silicone at the face of the entire jamb member, on every nook and cranny, at every groove here. Then we're going to apply silicone at the header where the jamb is going to meet. Everywhere here, here, here. That whole area that's been notched out is going to get silicone. Then we're going to attach the jamb to the head by bringing them together. Making sure they're nice and tight. And then we're going to use some wax This is a type of stick wax that you can get anywhere. We dip the fasteners in the wax so they're easier to engage into the metal. And we use the fasteners, hex head fasteners. We take these number 12 hex head fasteners we talked about before, we dip them in some wax. And then we attach them. We put them right through the header where the screw, where the holes are, and they go halfway into the jamb so they engage properly so it's nice and even. And then we tighten them. Now we're going to go to the sill and attach the sill to the same jamb on the same side. Before we do that, we also apply silicone at the face of this assembly here. Like before, like we did at the top, we did on the bottom. At every nook and cranny of the entire contour of the assembly. Okay. Then we take the assembled sill that we already put together and we line it up with the bottom of the jamb. Here we take the number 12 flathead screws.
And you're using number 3.
And we use a number 3 driver, Phillips number 3 driver. And again, we line up the holes as such. Go halfway to make sure they line up properly. And then we're going to tighten them up as such. So they're nice and tight. And straight and level and flush. Got to make sure everything here okay. Now before we put the end dams at the sill, we want to then look at the contours here. We want to basically cover the screw heads with silicone, and we want to cover all these nooks and crannies with silicone in here, so there's nice caulking. All the screws here that went to the screw emboss are going to be covered with silicone here, and in here this will be covered up, and all these gaps will be covered up with silicone, so nothing can, no water can come out from the joinery. Then we're going to go get the end dam, and then the end dam we're going to put silicone on all these flat surfaces here where the end dam is going to touch the jamb to sill joinery, and then we're going to attach. You'll notice that the end dam has a pre-installed, peel this back, pre-drilled holes, and has a pre-installed EPDM sheet on it. So we're going to face the EPDM sheet to the section here after all the silicone is on it, and we're going to line up the holes. There's 3 holes on the end dam that match the 3 screw embosses on the sill, and then we have 2 more holes here.
There'll be no possibility they're going to use text screws.
Okay, there'll be no holes here. This will be done in the field through the holes in the end dam. So you'll see how this goes. You'll line up the 3 little holes to the holes on the sill. Use the 8 by 1/2 inch.
And I use the number 2.
And use the number 2 bit here. Using the 8 by 1/2 inch Philster head screws. These are all Philster head screws here. And then you're going to take 8 by 1/2 inch tech screws, and you're going to apply them through the end dam, and because the tech screw is going to make their own holes into the metal. And you'll do the same thing here. Then you're going to take silicone, you're going to cover all the fasteners. You're going to cover the fasteners here with silicone, and you're going to put silicone wherever the end dam hits the sill, and you're going to fill these voids here with silicone, so you have total protection in the sill to jamb joinery. Then you're gonna go inside the joinery where the sill to jam is, and you're gonna also put silicone inside all these nooks and crannies here where the joinery is, so you have total protection, so no water can go from the sill to the jam and outside of the frame, okay? So this whole joinery on the inside also has to be sealed. And you're gonna do the same thing at the header as well. You're gonna fill everything, all these nooks and crannies here on the inside with silicone as well, so there's absolutely no chance of any water getting out of this frame. And that pretty much is how you're going to do the other side of this frame, the same exact way. Again, there are no end dams on the top of the jammed head joineries. There's only end dams at the bottom where the sill and the jams meet, correct? I think that's it for the frame. Once the frame is fully installed, we're going to go to the next video that shows you once the frame is actually in the opening, how we attach the back leg to the frame.